Beginning of the spawn in March, what you're starting to search for is the staging areas. And what we have here, this little pocket right here, this little curve in the bayou is nice and deep. All these little curves are good staging areas for the fish to start. They move in and sit there for a little while, and then when it warms up a little more, they'll move further back in there. Further back behind here is a lot of good spawning areas, so anywhere that's a good spawning area in front of it is going to be good staging areas. All right. One of the key things that I'm looking for during this time of the year is I'm not far off of the East Pearl, the main river system. And here I've got a whole section of a lot of different areas. I have mud banks where sun can shine on them, bulkheads, rock banks, all kinds of different options, even mats. That way I can come into one area, cover a lot of water, and end up figuring out what they want. And also banks like this is perfect for spawn. The sun's shining on it all day long. It's a good hard bottom. They're gonna pile up in here. All right, when you're thinking spawn, don't discount the marsh. The marsh can be a very good spot to catch good bedding fish. They're not gonna swim way upriver. What we got here is this deep channel cuts through here, and right up in here is a nice little shallow pocket. So these fish are gonna move up in out of this channel when they're ready and go back there and spawn in that pocket right there. Every body of water you're gonna find has areas where fish move into first. They might warm up first or anything like that, but every year it's gonna be the same thing. That bayou is gonna have fish first. And then you'll find as that kind of leans out in that area, they're gonna be in other areas. So you need to try to find what areas in your body of water is first. Basically like you're running the tide. From one end of a river to another end, you can run the spawn throughout the whole system that you fish. Mainly too, a lot of times it's that shallow water. Like this thing, this whole area is shallow. Shallow water is gonna warm up first, meaning the fish are gonna move in first into that area. But it also cools down fast. So if you have a cool spell, well, the fish are gonna shut down because it's cooled down really quickly there. But once you start having another warming spell, it warms up quicker than everything else. So that's another thing to look for. Another thing to look for when you're fishing for spawning fish is a hard bottom. The fish love a hard bottom because they can clean it off real good and have a nice clean surface to lay the eggs on. It's not like a soft bottom with a lot of decaying leaves where the eggs get lost in it. Another quick tip is how I found the hard bottom in this bayou is when the power poles hit bottom, they stop quick, solid. That's another thing that I found helps me find sandy bottoms or hard bottoms. If this was a marshy bottom, them things would keep digging down till they finally held enough.